I have been
Perfect.
so excited for this
Yes.
interview. Trish, welcome to When the Cleats Come Off.
Hello. Thank you for having me. It's funny. I told my husband, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, that podcast I said I wanted to do all summer long, but I'm never alone because my children are attached at my hip. I'm like, I'm gonna go do it because they're in school. So I'm gonna do it today. It's literally the second day of school, and this is what I'm doing. So,
No, this is perfect timing. My kid's in daycare. We even talked about it. Like, we got to do it when my toddler's in daycare. We do have the newborn, which you will hear squeals in the back, but that's just part of what you and I were just talking about. It's like we're stepping into motherhood. This is just what it's going to look like.
yep. Yep. Totally. I'm
I
here
love
for
it.
it.
I love it. Okay, well, because this has been highly anticipated, there's so many things I want to get into from ball her play to coaching 12U to coaching with your dad. Like there's so many elements of you that I'm just like so interested to get to know. But the first thing that I want you to share is can you just give us your backstory on, competitive softball? Like what got you into
Okay.
it and like where did that love for softball begin for you?
Well, I started playing when I was 8, and I actually played t-ball, but I picked a lot of dandelions and T-ball, so I think we can't like what's that?
I
What's
think we all
T-ball,
did.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But I started playing when I was 8, small town. Um, Travel ball didn't exist back then either. I don't know when you started playing travel ball, but it didn't exist until you played when you were 12. Um, and played for the local little league. My dad was the coach. My younger sister is only 18 months younger than me, so she played with me as well.
Mm.
Um, And then from there, and my dad learning to coach. Me and my sister, I had a younger sister too. There's 3 girls. We were like that softball family, right? Like 3 girls. They didn't get their boys, so this is like the best they can do, right? Um, so we played softball, and I joined a. My dad got me into a travel ball organization locally, and I wouldn't say that I loved it in the beginning. That's the funny part is like my dad will tell you stories like him telling me to get my butt in the car that I had to go to a game. And I'm just like, I don't want to go. And I think most of it was confidence when I was younger. Like
Okay.
I just didn't have the confidence. And so it's hard to go do something when you're not very confident in yourself. But then so I'm a Sasquatch. I'm really tall. So I always had this extremities of playing ball, right? We always look for that athlete that's tall and I was tall and I was a pitcher. Also didn't have the resources that there is these days with pitching coaches and all this online material. So I really didn't get into a pitching coach until I was like 14, I would say. From there, went to that travel ball organization. We tried a different local travel ball organization. That was I mean, how much you wanna know? Because that was a disaster. The coach missed one of the first games because they were hungover, and my dad was, like, at his wit's end of, like,
Oh no.
"What is going on?" And so then he started his own travel ball organization, so a little bit from the first, travel ball organization with girls, the second one with a mix of those girls. Where I lived in Central Michigan, he created the organization that I now coach at, which is called Diamond Heat. And then
Mm.
we went on from like 14, 15, 16 up until like I went on to play in college. And we did our thing. We bopped around, and those though, like I always say, I don't remember doing much. My dad actually told me a story the other day how I was down south playing Bat Busters and really good team. I have no recognition of this game. But he said I was throwing a no hitter, like no walk, like perfect game, right? And then we lost 1-0. And what it was is we were down there playing in the heat, and I walked 4 girls in a row. And my dad at the second walk went up to, Blue, he's like, "You feeling okay? Feeling okay?" And he he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine, fine." Well, I walked that run in, and we lost 1-0. I have
No
I
way.
can't I can't remember, but I remember going to the mall. I remember seeing the Tennessee caves. Like I remember all the other stuff, right? And but what happened that right after the game was over, that umpire passed out because of the heat.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So
Isn't that crazy that like that's a pretty significant loss, especially as
yeah,
like the one with the ball in your
yeah.
hand. You don't even remember that?
No,
Like
I remember.
it's ironic that today I'm literally putting out an episode like as we're recording this.
Yeah.
The episode about like the things I remember or the things I miss most about travel ball. And like none of them are really like the specific wins or losses. It was more of
No,
just like I
no.
remember running around hotel rooms and like parents hanging out in
Yep.
the lobby, like we eating
Hmm.
pizza, rain
Swimming.
delays, like yeah, all the
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, rain delays. We were down, I think down in Georgia. And I'll never forget this. We didn't play in the daytime because it got too hot. So you played in the morning and at night. Well, then it rained at night. So it pushes into like 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And beforehand, we, my teammates and I, who I'm mostly still like I'm friends with to this day.
Hmm.
Um, there was a girl on the other team, it was her birthday. So we all sang happy birthday to her. Well, then my sister, which my sister is not tall like me, she's like 5'5" on a good day. Her nickname was Scrappy. My nickname was Hollywood. Her nickname was Scrappy. And she was a feisty little thing. And she, there was something that happened. They got in a rundown. And when she went to tag her, she like tagged her hard and she fell down. Well, the girl got up in my sister's face. One of my teammates, her nickname was Biggs, so I'll just leave it at that. Her nickname was Biggs, and it was me, her, and another girl. We're like standing there, like ready to go. I am like not a fighter, but my height is intimidating apparently, and that's what I remember. I don't remember the actual. I couldn't tell you who won or lost that game, but I that's like the stories that I remember. And then the girl got mad. She actually got ejected. Got mad. Went out. The concrete was wet. She slipped, fell, kicked the trash can, and fell on her butt. And I
Oh
was
my God.
like, but that's
Karma.
it, bro. Yeah. But that's what I remember. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how. I think I was playing first base during that situation, but I don't know. It's just stuff like that with travel ball. You really don't remember the wins and losses. I mean, I think what one, it shapes you as a person, right? Those, kind of the adversity of things. But you just remember the fun things. That's
Yeah.
what I know.
I have to know why were you nicknamed Hollywood?
Well, we'll get into my career. I've always been into fashion. Like I've always been into pop culture and like social media didn't exist back then, but just stuff like that, like reality TV shows. And I don't know, I've always was the pretty pitcher, and I used to have platinum blonde hair, and so they all just my nickname was Hollywood.
So
That was
you
it.
took your style like seriously when you were on the mound? Like, did you do makeup or like special hair
No, and
stuff,
that's the
like,
funny.
or what?
I didn't wear makeup when I played. I think I probably wore a sparkle headband, like that was cool back in the day, you know.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but I just was I, you know, my dad would be like, "I want you to throw it tight at her hands and get her off the plate." And I'm like, "I don't want to hit her, Dad." Like I just didn't have that kind of grit to me as a player. Like I just was more of a gentle player, as you could like say. I that the grittiness didn't really happen until I got older. But so at a young age, I just got the nickname Hollywood, and
I love that.
it
I love
just
that. I
so.
think what I love too about you describing that is, a lot of people think there's only like one way or one type of player that goes and plays in college, right? And
Oh yeah, no,
like there's the gritty person who just like is, you know, terrorizing looking on the field, like, but you said you were kind of just like more of that laid back, didn't really get in
yeah,
people's faces, but you were still dominant, clearly.
yeah. I
So,
had well, there's like the silent players, right? Like they lead with leadership in a non-vocal way, but just with their presence on the mound or they're at the plate or on the field, right? Like there's just a different kind of player in them. And I definitely was that kind of player.
mhm.
So my dog came out with just my me as a pitcher. Like I had command of the plate. I could place the ball anywhere. And because every extremity on my body is super long, I could grip a ball and spin it and I had that advantage where I feel like you know, I don't want to say to get into the debacle of like a tall pitcher versus a shorter pitcher, right? But I just had advantages to grip the ball because I just was long in every way. So,
Is that why you
but
started pitching? Because you were tall and like that seems
I
like a
don't.
proper position for someone tall? Because as someone who only pitched in high school, everybody always thinks I'm a pitcher when I tell them I played softball now because I'm 5'10", 5'11" with
I
cleats on.
all right. Um, I don't. I think my dad just handed me a ball and said, "You're going to be a pitcher," and that was it. I played first base too, but I definitely was personality of a pitcher. I talk about it all the time. Like you got to be a perfectionist. Me, you know what I mean? Um, and I there's certain things I think a pitcher like has to have personality wise. Like I truly, that's one like you talk about the absolutes, and that's one thing I'm like, they got to have a little bit of having to always be perfect in every way because that's so much about pitching. Like so much goes into that.
hmm
But I don't know, whatever. I
Did
guess I
that
have,
did that perfectionist mentality eat at you sometimes? Like, was there
oh
times
yeah,
where like that didn't help you in regards to like having to be perfect and like maybe I don't know if this was you at all, but I felt this sometimes when I played was like I tried to be so perfect that I like wasn't able to give my all, if that makes
yeah.
sense. Like
Um,
younger, that affected me, I remember.
Younger, well, again, there was a couple different switches that happened in my softball career. One, no confidence. Two, started to get a little bit of confidence, learning my body, right? We can get into this. Life after puberty, right? Your body's completely different. Learning mechanics, getting my foundation down. Uh, and then from there, I feel like my junior year, it was like the perfectionist in me. But then senior year, I really grinded. Like I grinded hard to the point where like my everything was so solid that I could trust, like you trusted your mechanics and everything kind of fell into place. But do I struggle with it with my daughter? Yes, because she has the same personality trait. I have to also understand she has to go through the cycles. I call it like the cycles of pitching. Like she's in this stage with pitching. I sometimes want to protect her from that and like get her out of that, but like she has to go through it just like I went through it because you're not going to learn to get better. You're not gonna, if you don't fail, right? If you don't have those moments on the mound, she's n- not going to get to be a better pitcher either.
hmm
So
She's got to
sometimes,
have the game. She's got to have the game where she walks in the losing run because
correct,
that made you better.
opportunities, learning opportunities here. We lost to a team this last July, a team that we beat 3 out of the 4 times we played them. Okay, so the fourth time we lost. Um, it was our fourth game of the day. And I told the girls, I was like, listen, I know you guys are tired, but you guys gotta, this is a mental thing. Like, you guys gotta dig deep and you gotta play when you're tired. Like, this is more or more mental than physical. And it was hot and, all the things. And we went out the first inning flat. And not that we just made dumb errors. And so then I used the card of like, because everybody, there's kids on my YouTube channel and they talk, and I ignore most of them. But I'm 100% gonna tell the girls, I'm like, listen, if you guys don't step it up a little bit, they're gonna get in the comment section. Like, that was like my coaching approach, and they did, and you know, it it ticked my girls off because we lost. We lost to a team we should have never lost to. And, one even made a video on it and they were all showing me, they called me Coach Tisha and like, Coach Tisha, did you see this video? And I'm like, yeah. And like, I can't believe that. I'm like, does that bother you? And they're like, yeah, dude. And they were so mad. And I was like, learning opportunities, learning opportunities. I'm like, the only way you can fix this is show up next time. Because I warned you, but they have to go through it. I warned them, but they have to experience for this stuff. They got to feel that burn in them where it just grinds their gears, where they're like, next time we play them, they're going to make sure I know it that we are the better team.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, and I like that you aren't afraid to just let them feel it. Like, like because you've been through it, we've all been through it. Like where we lose that game where we're
Yeah.
not supposed to, or we even when we just like come out and win a game that we're not supposed to either. Like that same thing, like it allows that to be like this heightened, incredible experience of like we just did that. But yeah, I
Oh
like that
yeah,
you get to
totally.
you give them both sides. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, I try to warn them and I try to like, when I see a kid go to the plate and she doesn't do well, strikes out, and I'm like, come here. I'm like, what was your approach at the plate? And she's like, I know. And I'm like, all right, like, the first step is you've got to have a hitter's mentality. You got to get your mindset in there. I'm going to hit the ball. I'm looking for my pitch. Right. And, but they got to experience it. We can't play the game for them. I say that all the time to them. Like, dude, I can't play this game for you. I wish I could, but I'm old and washed up. So I can't do it anymore. I can barely throw a ball overhand because my shoulder's so bad. So, and they all make fun of me for it too. It's quite hilarious. But I'm like,
Wild.
yeah. So
I'm gonna
anyway, so I
grab
went.
my
Oh
kid real
yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
You can keep going though. You can finish your thought.
No, it's okay. I can wait for you. My
Okay.
phone's going off anyway, so you're fine. I'm gonna call him.
Brief pause. Brief pause.
Okay.
That's why I kept muting myself because I was like, he's still going. I'm gonna stand up now.
Ugh.
Hey, Bubbly. You okay? Hi. Okay. Okay. You just want to be a part of the
Hi.
show.
Yeah. Yes.
You did. Ugh. Gotta put my headphones back on. I kind of like this view better.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna get the mom sway
I know.
going.
I'm gonna do it. When I post videos, I'll just have to post to you. I kept having to mute myself because I like, how like when you're um like the video, it would if you
Mm-hmm.
were to be making a loud noise, it would have taken away from your face, which is like we don't want that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, are you ready? We're gonna finish this out. We still have a lot of things to get into, so are you gonna be good for a little bit, I hope. Okay, let's just get back into it. I know I'm still recording on this end, but I gotta.
Do you want me to go into talking about my dad and
I was
his?
actually just about to go there. That
Okay.
was my
All
next
right.
question for you. Kid you not?
Okay.
Okay, I'll take us there. Okay, so coaching, I'm sure you actually, I want to get into the story of like why you decided to coach, but was your dad like a big influence with that? Because he coached you?
Actually, my dad was. It's not that he wasn't a great influence. He was an amazing influence, but because I saw firsthand everything he dealt with, is why I was like, I don't think I ever want to coach.
Mm,
You know, and my experience going to college without my dad coaching me when he coached, I was like, I don't know if I want Evelyn to experience that, because it's hard. It's a hard transition. But so my dad coached from little league into travel, and then he got the head coach high school varsity position my sophomore year. And then from there, we had a losing season. I swear, like, our story should be a Netflix story because it's like one of those like good hometown stories.
hmm.
We won 3 games my freshman year. 3.
Wow.
My sophomore year, the year he took over, we won 12.
No way.
My junior year, we won, I think, 30. He would be way better at all these statistics and records. And then my senior year, we made it to quarterfinals. I think we won 32, but we won districts, regionals, and lost in quarters. And we haven't done that in like years. But rewind, my mom was a state runner up back in her day.
Wow.
So, but so my dad took a losing program from a very, very, very long time of losing and completely turned it around in 3 years. And our conference alone, like small town, actually where my kids go to school now, it's the same conference. But I mean, I graduated 40 kids. It's small. Not a lot going around here, but dirt roads, tractors, and cornfields. So it's really small. But the conference we played in was the teams that were in this conference were beating Division 1 schools. Like we were just it was just a loaded conference with loaded talent. And actually a lot of the girls that were on these teams would play in the travel ball team with us. So we'd play
Mhm.
travel together and then we go play for high schools. So from there, senior year, lost in quarters, and then my dad stayed coaching for 10 years there and had winning seasons for a really long time. And then my youngest sister, she's 8 years younger than me, also a pitcher. So I went pitcher, catcher, pitcher. And my sister wasn't necessarily a catcher, but she was just that kid, called her Scrappy. It was a position that needed to be filled, and she just stepped up and did it. And she was good at it. But um my dad will still say though she hit 50 miles an hour first before I did because she used to be a pitcher. So that was he will say that. Um so yeah, he was there for 10 years and but I will say if I see any of his past players in the 10 years, they will stop me and tell me your dad was the best coach I ever had.
Mm.
So, it's one of those things. So then um going into Evelyn playing travel ball. Evelyn also, I should say, is a blessing. I mean, obviously all our children are blessings, but it's like funny how God works, right? I got hurt in college, which I'll get into, and I medically disqualified. Met my husband, wasn't my husband then, I'll say that. And literally done with ball, got pregnant.
Wow.
Poof, here comes Evelyn.
Hmm.
Um, I was 24 at the time when I had her. Was not ready for a baby. I graduated from college though. I did get my bachelor's. Finished out college, worked out. Evelyn came, but at that time I had such a bitter taste in my mouth about softball. I was like, I put her in dance for dance. You're gonna do all the things like you don't have to play softball. So that's the funny part about all of it, how it comes full circle. Like you have. I feel like everybody has a moment in their softball career where they're like, I am just done with this. Like I'm
Hmm.
done.
Yeah, we all do.
But you're not really done, and everybody comes back to it differently, and mine came back because of her, like, my
Hmm.
love for the game. So, but yeah, my dad had a winning season, coached travel, coached my younger sisters for those 10 years, and then when my younger sister was done playing ball, he was done, and, that was it. But when Evelyn came back into her 8U when she started playing ball when she was 8 years old, and I watched things unravel with coaches and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Give me examples. I think I need to
Uh,
hear examples.
when they're 8 years old, they should be rotating in different positions.
Mm.
And my kid sat the bench and she played left field. And then like she's, inspiring to pitch. It's coaches. So at 8U, they like, I don't even know at this league what they did. Like I think they threw like 4 pitches, and if they couldn't throw a strike, then the coach came in and threw strikes for the opponent to hit,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
He would never even give her that opportunity. And I'm like, dude,
At
she's a
8U,
baby. Yeah,
when
I'm
it's
like,
about development and learning the game.
yeah, and he would like tell her to go warm up, but then like would never put her in the game.
Jeez.
And I was like, and
How's
it
she gonna
wasn't
learn?
just well, and it wasn't my kid. There was other kids out there. And then like, and I was like, how are we gonna get better? How are we, besides practicing, but you gotta feel the game experience, right? And so I was losing, and it again, this isn't travel ball. This was a little league program.
Yeah.
And so so I called the director student season, didn't say anything because I won't be that parent, and called the director and I was like, hey, I want to help next year. So if you guys need help, let me know. And he's like, I know who you are. I watched your whole family do everything that you guys did. Blah 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 blah
Hmm.
blah. And his daughter played at Michigan. And So I was like, okay, well, I want to help. So then we started having open gyms in the winter, came to all open gyms. End up, he wasn't coaching. That was a long story. And I end up being the head coach for then now 10U.
Okay.
So it goes 8U to 10U Little League, and started coaching Evelyn in 10U. And then I called my dad up. I was like, I need you to help me coach. That's it. Like, and he's like, oh, yeah. It's just Little League. I can do that. So then he started helping me coach. And at that time, though, Ev wasn't like all in. Like, I didn't put her in, didn't want her to put her in travel that year.
Hmm.
You're not like, you're going to be ready, but let's just, wait. So I put her in here and there, but like I wouldn't start her in games, let her get her feel for it because there was girls that were better than her. And I started them and I would bring Evan, right? Get the lead, let her get her confidence there. That's like so much about pitching is confidence. And so yeah, we started coaching together in Little League, and that's kind of thought where it would be and be fine. So then she finished out that year. She started expressing to me she wanted to play travel. I'm like, well, you gotta work a lot harder. We gotta practice more, do all the things. We didn't have this that I'm sitting in. Um, So
Didn't
from
have the
there,
barn.
I didn't have the barn. And so, which by the way, I grew up in a barn too. Like we had one. So I knew the importance of having one.
Hmm.
The difference is this was my husband's barn. And so that was still is a marital issue.
You
But
took it over.
still
I know.
I
I
took
think
it.
I think I see like is it? I don't know if it's a Camaro, like parked in the.
Yeah, it's up in the garage right now, but usually the Camaro's sitting in here. So we're just in here a lot right now, and Justin was sick of pulling in and out, and I was like, I'm parking it in the garage. And now he parks his truck outside, the Camaro in the garage, and my parking spot never changes. So, anyways, um, Evelyn starts playing 9U travel. So she played 10U Little League, but travel, the age is different then, and she plays 9U travel. Um, it's going fine. She played in fall, did really well with pitching, hitting, whole different story, right? And I always feel bad for pitchers when we got to spend so much time pitching, and then like, oh, by the way, you got to hit the ball too, you know, and
Hmm.
you got to put that time in. So, come winter, she plays basketball because I'm like about multi sports, right?
Hmm. Did you play
And
basketball too?
yes, I played
Me
basketball.
too.
Wasn't not my favorite thing, but I'm tall, so you're just like, yep, you're on the team. So she played basketball, and she, the coach says, "What days work well for winter practices?" And I say, "Well, my daughter has basketball practice this day and this day." Next thing I know, we're having softball practice this day and this day, and I'm like, "Well, she's she's 9. She's gonna go to basketball. It's winter." Like, and I talked to him, and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's winter. Don't worry about it." And a month later, she had a game. She missed practice to go to her basketball game.
Hmm.
I get a text the following day telling me that she has to sit her first spring game because she's missed too many practices. So then I like pull out the contract and I'm like, well, there's nothing here about any of this.
Yeah, like
And so
there's no rules to go by.
yeah,
He's just making it up.
yeah. So I'm just like, and then I'm like, well, can you tell me how many she's missed? Like, what's your protocol? And so I just start questioning them. And I'm just like, dude, this is 9U.
She's 9. Yeah.
She's 9. And then it got to the point where the president got involved, and a week later, Evelyn was kicked off the team
Oh no.
at 9U, and directly because of me. And I'm like, okay, so I find her a different team. It's January, February at this point. I find her a different team. I am 110% labeled as a crazy mom. I knew I was, and I'm like, no, it's just because I knew more about the game than you, but it's fine. Anyways, I was like, whatever. I find her a different team. I can't make up these stories, by the way. Like
No, I'm
this was
glad you're sharing
Evelyn's,
that.
because like when people like talk about their horror travel ball stories, they're like, oh honey, sit down. I got a whole story for you about 9U softball. So
Yeah. But though
Evelyn,
this is good because there's a lot of like travel ball coaches that listen, even just rec ball coaches.
Yeah.
And like they have to learn, the ins and outs of like why some of this stuff isn't acceptable, even though
Oh,
it
it's
might have been different back then, but like especially like youth players, they need to play,
they
and
need
like
they need
and
to
they need
play.
to and they need to play other sports. Like if they want to
Yes.
play basketball and they're in basketball season, you commit to that. That's what my dad taught me. I played every
Yes.
sport in every season. And,
Yes.
not until I was like maybe like 13, 14 was I only, I'm making sure I'm always practicing softball, even if I have,
A
other
hundred
sports to play. Like I have to put a little bit more work outside of that. But if I had a basketball game, I was going to basketball.
a
Um,
100%.
but yeah,
That's
that's tough.
I'll tell you how I kind of deal with it with my now travel ball team. But so we go into 9 youth spring summer season. I find a different organization. Well, it turns out the president director of that organization is embezzling money.
Oh, great.
And then the coach that we went to quit, and that's when me and my dad took over.
Okay.
So we took over that team for like 2 tournaments, maybe 2. Maybe it was just 1, I can't remember. And we won the consolation bracket. So 2-2, we took this team and they weren't winning, and we just took them over, and we didn't get sent home Sunday morning. So we made it to the consolation bracket late in Sunday. So I was like, that's a win. We just took over literally that Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found out the president was embezzling money. And then I was like, well, I literally told the parents, I'm like, I'm sorry, I cannot coach here. I'm not putting my name attached to this organization. And I said, and there was only I'm gonna go coach at a different organization. You guys are more than welcome to come to the tryout. And I had parents pissed at me, but I also was like, dude, I didn't sign up for any of this. Like, I'm just filling in. So me and my dad started where we were at 10U at this point. So we did not finish that was Evelyn's 9U season. 10U, we start coaching together at a brand new organization. I bring in 2 other dads that also are coaching with me. So there's 4 coaches. We all stand 6 foot tall. So we are very tall and intimidating. Trust me, I've heard about it. And then um, these are girls too that Evelyn plays with at school.
Okay.
So, like we're building our program at our school. Here we go. Some girls come over and try out for our new team that were at previously at Evelyn's 2 teams that she was on. From there, my first tryout, I had 35 kids show up at 10U. And I was like, and for us being a small town, that's huge. Like, it's huge. The organization isn't like where you came from. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So we're like, sweet. We make a team. We had a really good, successful 10U season. That year, I set us up with, in the fall, we didn't go sanctioned. We played non sanctioned tournaments, local tournaments, see who fits where, rotating kids, trying to figure out, I always say like fall ball is all about rotation, figuring out what kid fits, what kid plays what position, where you're going to put them in the lineup, right? You kind of get a feel for it in the fall. And then like, spring and summer, you kind of get your starting defense and like who's good at their primaries and secondaries, so on. So we had a really good 10U season. We played we played PGF, we played a couple U trip, did pretty well. PGF we actually finished pretty well in. Um, and then U trip we usually would finish third, fourth. I would always say if we can make it late into Sunday, I'm happy because we're such a small team at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And then had hiccups with parents, of course. That's just like when people like when they have the mindset that they're gonna avoid having hiccups with parents, I'm like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. There's
Yeah,
always
you're
gonna be
always gonna get some tension.
always because that's just travel ball, right? Um, so going to 11U, we were playing more sanctioned. So I kind of put us in more. We did like half and half in the fall. We were playing sanctioned and non-sanctioned, and then move it into spring and summer. We were more like six sanctioned, four non. This year we're playing a lot of sanctioned, so that's kind of like my game plan of travel. But coaching with my dad is it's funny because sometimes me and him are like on the same wavelength of things, and I'm like, yeah, I was totally thinking we're gonna move her to this and this spot and that spot. And then there's other times where we are fighting over who starts which game, you know,
Mm.
on the mound, and we battle, or I turn, he tells me you need to pull her. I'm like, give her a minute, you know. So we get into those little tiffs. I think a lot with me is he has experience. He always understands the coaching side of things,
Hmm.
and I'm always coming from a player's perspective.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit more of an emotional side, like
Oh,
because you've ridden that
there's a
as
lot
a
of,
female.
I think too with coaching, you really got to take your emotion out of it. Um, and I think because I played the game and I'm a female, there's a lot of emotion, and I think it's a really great thing, but it also is a really bad thing sometimes too.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
Can we get into a little bit though of like what made so you talked about your dad like transforming the high school team and like
yeah.
maybe like the fact that he was coaching with you brought, all those people in because they're like, well, he clearly knows what he's doing. Like,
Oh yeah. I
let's
mean,
like what
he,
made him and what makes him such that a phenomenal coach that like you enjoyed playing for and these players are coming back saying he was my favorite coach.
well, my dad has the best one-liners. Like we always say that, like there's stuff that he says where like half the time I'm like, we're gonna get canceled. But another part of the time, I'm like, wow, that was really good. He also, when he coaches, sees the game before it happens.
Mm,
Where that I feel like I struggle still sometimes because I feel like sometimes I'm still playing the game. You know,
yeah.
like I'm playing and he's in a different perspective of things. But I've learned a lot too with him
Hmm.
when he is seeing things happen before hi seeing things happen before it, you know, happens. But he's really good at like when we talk about lineups, he can put together a lineup and I'm like, dang, that was a really good lineup. Like,
He's done it so many times. That's great.
with this lineup. I'm like, okay, whatever. So there's a lot of that. But he just sees things, and he um understands how to deal with, you know, right, coach and travel, there's just high intensity and conflict.
Hmm.
And he's really good at dealing with that stuff. Where I feel like again, I'm still learning, especially I'm not a confrontational person. I
Yeah.
don't deal well with conflict. So I also will say that female coaches, I say, we just have a bigger target on our back. When we say something, they're like, "Ah, she was so rude." Where a male says it, and I'm like, he said the same thing as I did, you know, but our tone's a little bit sassier. So it's, you know, too much for too much sometimes. I don't know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you
he's,
actually just did this post where you said why females should be leading female teams. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
probably have a laundry list of things, like
a
reasons
laundry
why
list.
females should be coaching. Do you have any that come to mind that you want to share?
Yeah, when the player says they have to go to the bathroom, you don't say why, you just say okay. Because especially when you get into this age, you're just like, okay, yep, go to the bathroom real quick. Run, you know? Um, right? Like they what did what do I say about boys versus girls? Boys have to win to have fun. Girls have to have fun to win. Do you know what I mean? It's so mental up here for girls. They got to feel the environment. They got to feel their uniform. Um, they have to one like their teammates. If they don't like their teammates, they're out. Like those girls, and that's one thing I really stress about my team is team culture. But like they are out. Like they're like, nope, I don't like that girl. If something happens at school, it most definitely is going to carry to the field. No matter how many rules and how many contracts you set, it's going to come to the field because that's how girls' minds work. Now, it's not that I'm giving an excuse to it, but I think as a coach, you got to understand how to approach it to squash it to help them get rid of it before they step on the field. So that's one thing is like reading energy of with females. Like I we were at a softball camp and I was hungry. And it's like a chill softball camp. We're like playing a game at the end. It was an advanced camp. We're playing a game. These kids are higher level too. And I'm like, screw this, man. I'm getting chips and queso. Like I'm hungry. And I'm like, I'm getting me a burrito bowl. I'm just standing around too, like, because we had college players come in and coach the girls. And I'm just chilling at this point. I got me a burrito bowl and I got chips and quesos for each dugout. And I'm like, men don't think of stuff like that. They don't think of things like that. They don't think about the fun things to do. They think playing the game is fun, good enough. You're good. Where like girls have to do all the silly things in between. And they just understand. They've done it, right? I got into it with a tournament director this year because he didn't have the mound. This is like probably my biggest story. I got into it last year with a director. He had the mound set at 43 feet and we pitch at 40 feet. And I was like, hey, that mound is off. And he's like, yeah, yeah. He's like, it's fine. He's like, I'm not going to pull the mound out because then I'm going to have holes in my turf. And I was like, yeah, but like the rules state it's 40 feet. And he's like, 3 feet isn't a big deal. And I was like, it is a big deal. 110. I was like, first of all, these are 12-year-old girls, and we were 11, you're not 12 yet. And he's like, hey, he's like, I played men's fast pitch. And I was like, are you are you comparing men's fast pitch to 11-year-old girls right now?
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I was pretty mad about that one. But it's just
I would
stuff
be
like
too.
that. I'm like, you have no idea. You have no idea how hard it is for pitchers. And I'm big right now because these girls are just learning how to use their legs with pitching.
Hmm.
And if you step them back a little bit, you're going to mess up their mechanics and their sequence and timing and hip engagement. And I'm like,
They're gonna force it rather than stick to their
yes,
fundamentals.
correct. And I'm like, so I was pretty heated about that. But it's just like examples of like men. And I'm like, you have no idea like how hard this actually is, this game is. So
Hmm.
but
It's
yeah,
different.
but I'm like not a hater though of male. Like I know there's some people like I only want female coaches. Like I actually think we need both. I'm like a
Yeah.
big believer because
Like your
I
dad
know.
and my dad are prime examples of like our sports need that, you know?
Yes.
And I'm sure you was like still hard on you like my dad was on me. But
Oh
like
yeah.
it's like in a different way, like I don't know. I think there should be both too. And that's why
My dad.
college coaching staffs have both a lot, you know?
You need both, and my dad has a way, which I think all four of us coaches like. We have a way of telling these girls of giving them the coaching they need, but in a way like we believe in you to do this.
Hmm.
Okay, we believe in you, so you need to do it, right? Like
Hmm.
it's that kind of coaching um that I feel like sometimes is lacked, right? They like just yell at them, and it's like there's a way of yelling at them, but still getting after them in a way like we know you're better than this. You can do
Hmm.
better, right? But like in the same sense too, I know there's times where I am like another prime example. We're in U trip playing, and I messed up a courtesy runner. Or like the rules of switching to PGFU trip, high school, like all these things, right? And
Gotta be hard.
I messed up courtesy runner. It is what it is. The umpire had no idea what the rules were. That's another frustrating thing. I made a TikTok about this too. And I sometimes when I post, it's just me being sarcastic. And some people like from the other team, they'll come on and they'll like comment. And I'm like, calm down, dude. Calm down. But I was really upset about it. And then I come back and one of my other coaches, he looked at me and he's like, hey, take a minute. You're fine. It didn't affect the game because it was totally on me, right? So I feel awful. And I need that sometimes. Like we're right because females, our emotions are just like, phew, right? We just
Hmm.
go high sometimes. And I needed that moment of like, I got it. I got it under control now. So yeah, I think we need both, but I definitely think you need a female, and I think a lot of, especially in the sport, it's lacked a lot, big time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so
So
you've been working with Ev on pitching. And
oh
this
yeah.
is, I remember you saying how um, it's testing for you because you want her to be able to like learn things and struggle. But like as her main pitching coach, right? Like what are you
She has
working on with
one.
her? She has
She
one?
Evelyn
Okay.
does have a pitching coach, and I'll get
Okay.
into that too. I could teach her everything she knows about pitching, but I am her mother, and I
Mm-hmm.
will always be her mother first, and I always want to be her mom first.
Mm-hmm.
She needs a soundboard, and she needs somebody else talking to her about it and seeing someone regular to teach her. Like right now, Evelyn's in she's learning to rise ball, and she's 12. Now, do I go to her pitching coach? I'm like, "Hey, so this is where she's at. This is where I think da, 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 da. This is what I think we should do." And me, Alexa's great. Her name's Alexa Williams. She's from Strike Three. She's over here, Grand Rapids, Michigan. She's producing pitchers. She had one girl go to the Little League World Series. So she's producing a lot of successful pitchers. But Eb needs somebody besides me.
Mm-hmm.
It can't just be me. Mom, do I work with her? We throw 3 to 4 times a week. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching her. I've taught her a lot about video, like studying like mechanics, not only with hitting, but or with pitching, but with hitting. Like you have to understand what your body is doing for you to even get better in this game. Like if you can't feel it, right? Hitting, right? You drop your hands, you pull the ball, right? Your front side, your weight, whatever. Your legs extended in the back. She likes to do that. She extends her leg, and I'm like, but
You're
she's
like, get
also,
stacked.
yeah, get stacked, right? And I'm always like, but she also doesn't, she's 12. She doesn't understand her hip flexors yet. She don't have them, right? She's still in that stage. That's why I'm like, people get so wrapped up in speed, and they get so wrapped up in like, oh, this kid's throwing X amount. She's only 11. And I'm like, okay, talk to me when she's 16.
A lot of
Talk,
people peak young. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, talk to me when she's 16, because she doesn't like, does she understand does she, is she throwing with her arms, throwing with her legs? Does she
Okay.
understand her core yet?
This, I have a story about this that made me think of it. Okay, so there was this pitcher locally who was like super stud, really young. She's on like a rival travel team to us. And like very
Hmm.
early on, this was before you could commit. You can't commit until like September 1st of your junior year.
Right.
She was committed to play at like a Power Five school, huge school, just won a national championship. Like when she was in like seventh grade, she committed to this university.
There's like, how does
No,
that
it
conversation
happened.
happen without breaking
Yeah.
rules? So, do you know what I
Well,
mean?
there wasn't a rule then. It wasn't a rule then.
Okay.
Like these are all new rules now. But anyway, so she like committed. And then she's exactly what you're describing. Like mechanics were wonky, but she got it done and she threw heat like when she was
Yeah.
young. And then by her senior year, she was like leaving for school and she was not as dominant as she was back then. And she ended up leaving after 1 year of school to then go to another program because like she peaked young and her
Speak.
mechanics were not good and they could not
Well,
follow her when she grew and she like,
right.
got into her full body.
And I'm not saying that a kid, when they peak early, they don't develop anymore, they don't get better, because I've seen that happen too. But I think that's when it falls on the parents, right? And coaches, but mostly parents, because I've seen it. Like I've seen kids peak early, and then not only in my day, but I'm seeing it now too. They peak early, and then parents, you know, the egos grow, the work ethic doesn't,
Right.
and they don't understand mechanics, and there's no mental side of the game being learned at all, and they don't
The
do it.
adversity part, right?
Yeah,
Like
the
that's what you're
adversity part,
describing? Yeah.
the failure, like they've never failed, and so when they fail, they're like, well, I don't fail, like what do I do, right? And then the parents who don't own that accountability, then they point fingers, It's not my kid's fault.
Mm,
Da 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 da. Right? I don't know. And it's like I've seen it happen a lot. I've also like right when we do kids when we pick up kids and they come to our tryouts, we're like, who's their parents? I'm like,
mm,
oh, dad played college football, my mom played college basketball. All right, that's you come here. Like I gotta take a look at you. Like we look at parents, and I don't think people understand that. Like I don't think people understand it's a big part of it. Not only are parents, good parents, do they support their kids, right? Do they believe in what we're saying? But like, were they athletes? Did they do stuff? How
hmm.
tall are they? Just I know
And they're
that's
yeah, and they're probably going to also let their coaches coach them.
yes.
Like
Yep.
that's where I'm at too. It's like, and I've heard so many high level athletes that like have kids now, and they're like, my job isn't to be their main coach. I'm not their main coach. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
coaches that they have in front of them, like we're on this team, they're coaching them. And if they want to
Yep.
talk to me about it, like after practice, like let's go through some things. Yeah, we're going to practice, but like your main voice
Yep.
is your coach, and a lot of elite athletes get that, and they let their
They
coaches
get it,
coach.
right. They
Yeah.
get it. And I think too, why, like I went back to why I didn't want to coach is because I wanted Evelyn to have that voice. Like
Mm,
I didn't want to be this. I didn't want to do it because when I went to college, I had a hard time adjusting to different coaching styles because I only had one. Now I am an assistant coach up for our varsity high school team as well, but there is a main coach there. So I'm like, okay, I hope that is going to help her. But I don't coach Evelyn basketball. She plays volleyball too. I don't actually know anything about volleyball at all. So I kind of love that
it's
for me. I
good.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I played basketball, but it's like not my forte, right?
Hmm.
Like my whole thing is I'm like, you better be hustling down that court. That's my whole thing. Like, don't be late. Like attitude, effort, and focus. I'm like, precisely. Like you guys, those are the three things you guys can control.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, so coaching Evelyn, I am her, yes, her main pitching coach, but I'm not. Alexa is her main coach, and thankful for her. She's great. Me and Alexa, I love me and Alexa's relationship. When Alexa has a kid, she's like, "What are you seeing?" Because I'm seeing, she's collapsing on the front side or this and that, and I'm like, "Well, watch her right foot." Like, and we're talking ball. We're talking softball. We're
Hmm.
talking pitching. Someone that understands pitching too, to actually to know exactly what it's like and she has a daughter too the same age, so we're like in the same stage in the trenches of life. Like I
You
watch
might
there's
start
times
working
where
with her daughter soon. Just kidding.
I well, she did mention that one time. She's like,
You just swap.
"No," um, really growing her confidence on the mound, and they end up losing 2-0. They're or no, what did they lose by? No, they lost 3-2. They were up 2-0. Her daughter walked 2 runs or walked 2 batters. And she was mad. She was frustrated with her. And I was like, listen, your daughter just played against a really good team. At first I was like, okay, mom to mom, your daughter just played against a really good team that you guys have never battled with before. And she battled with them and she threw really, really well. She just doesn't know how to finish yet. Like, there's the start of the game and then there's the finish of the game. And I was like, we just, we got to work on her about finishing. And she's like, dude, I needed that. But the same
Mm,
sense too, like there's times where Evelyn is struggling, or like a while back, she was Ev in July, Ev went to this, which is because we were in the heat of our season and Ev was throwing a lot, a lot, a lot. And it went down where Ev started like losing she was kind of getting scrunchy at the end. We call it scrunchy. And I'm like getting frustrated because I'm like, we're past this part in our mechanics. Why are we even talking about this? But then she's like that reminder to me. She's like, and I know you're always fine tuning pitching mechanics. Like it's not something you just like accomplish and move away from. And I'm like, right. Like you have to stay diligent with your mechanics and pitching, just like hitting, right? You can never have too
yeah.
much tea time.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And old habits, they're going
oh,
to come back every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, for me, at least working with hitters, it's my job is to help you understand when some of the old habits come back and like how you can mentally move through that in a game, right? Like if
Uh-huh.
you're
Right.
popping up like crazy, I'm not going to teach you mechanics mid-game, but I'm going to tell you to like get the top half of the ball. Because a lot of times,
Right.
like the
Right.
mechanics will figure themselves out if we just mentally
Right.
focus on something new.
Well,
But
I always say too, like, you got to understand the lingo, right? Like if I'm giving you like I talked to Ev a lot about front side. Ev, her timing, her hit, like mechanics, she can hit off a tee all day long and mechanics look fine. But you know, and I know hitting is timing. You
mhm.
can be the best mechanical hitter, but it's timing. And Ev struggles with that, and she's always on her front side. And so, like, I tell her, like, hey, like, she'll swing at one, pop up, or, foul ball. And I'm like, front side. And she's like, right, you know,
You
like,
need that stability in your front leg. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So,
I love it.
yeah, that's coaching Ev. It's fun. It's fun. She's a worker. And I have two boys too. So it's like, and then I got the baseball side of things. And that's
A whole nother podcast,
a whole nother podcast.
which actually I'm
Baseball.
dying to get into because I have two boys now, so I need to do my homework on how that goes.
Well, get
We'll
ready
get
for
into it.
baseball. Baseball politics, man. Ugh. It's a
I'm
whole
sure.
different breed. Whole different
Yeah,
breed.
I'm sure it
So,
is. Well, I want to give you the floor to talk about ball or play and,
oh,
implementing that fashion aspect into sports moms now because I'm currently wearing a shirt, the
play
Play Like
like
a
a girl.
Girl, with spit up on the right shoulder, of course. I
I
mean,
love that.
what
I love
else?
that.
But please talk about ball or play because I think it's such a cool, part of like where you can get sports moms to all kind of like feel like we're a little family here.
Right. So baller play, man, it came about like last. I've always wanted to do something like this, but didn't. I still don't have the time, let's be real. Um, it just kind of, well, the girls I coach, right? I see they're drippy. Man, I got a drippy team, right? We'll have to get into like the bouginess of the team, but I support it, okay? And they're drippy and they like their Bruce Bolt's gloves and they like, when Easton drops a new tee, right? When a new bat comes out, man, they are like, did you see the pink lemonade and the red ghosts and all the things, right? They're drippy kids. Well, my son, there's that baseball season line. The and the Savannah Bananas wear it, and I'm like, there's not really anything for softball.
Is it
Like there's
baseballism? Is that what it is?
Yeah, baseballism or something. I don't know. My son wears it. I buy it for him. But like, they got the colorful shorts and like it says baseball season. No, couldn't tell you. But I just have a really drippy team, is what I call them. New drip. Like they'll come in like, look at my new Bruce Bolts. I'm like, didn't you just get a pair? I'm like, did you think your mom and dad? Because I swear you just got a new pair like a couple months
Those
ago.
aren't cheap, but they are durable.
No.
I will say. Shout out to Bruce
th-
Bolts.
yes, shout out to Bruce Bolts because my kids love Bruce Bolts. But I just was like, I want to like create shirts and like a softball line for girls.
Hmm.
And a lot of people want it, like I know a lot of people like, I want it to be volleyball and I want basketball stuff. And it's not. It's literally just gonna be softball because again, I don't know anything about volleyball. And like someone told me what a libero was the other day, and I was like, sweet, okay, cool. I don't know. I follow like Harper Murray on TikTok,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's like as much volleyball I get in my life. Okay. Besides now Evelyn's playing because she's in seventh grade. But I just wanted a line for the girls and something again, my dad has a lot of one-liners. So a lot of the stuff you see on shirts is because of stuff that we've said.
Hmm.
It's fully created because what we say. Um I play the game of failure one. My dad said that one time. So I wrote it down. My sister will also text me because, right, we all played. She'll give me one liner she comes up with, and then I will create it into whatever. The play like the girl is like, so I also have like a mockery too about it, like play like a girl, because, it's that,
Everybody, oh,
play,
think of Sandlot. You
yeah,
throw
play
like a
like a, right.
girl. Like, yeah.
Li- Yes, so stuff like that. there's kind of like the sarcasm, and I am a very sarcastic person, but so there's the sarcasm. I have a shirt that says "Just throw strikes." They're sarcastic, and then too, I asked my followers, "What do you guys want me to like? What kind of one-liners and stuff?" So I'll kind of play off what they say. So that's how it kind of came about. But it's a lot of inspiration from the girls and what they are like, what my dad says, what our other coaches say, what I say, and it's a mix of everything. I didn't expect it to be what it is. Like it's kind of like a thing now. I went to a USL game and I brought 6 shirts. I brought six because that's all I could like fit in my bag.
Hmm.
And I had girls coming up to me like, "Can I get a shirt? Can I get a shirt?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." Like that's the whole thing of it. But yeah, I don't know where it's gonna like take off to, but right now it's fun and I want it to stay. That's with softball and baller play. I mean, obviously our whole theme is play like a girl, but like I want it to stay fun. It cannot become a job because then I'm
Hmm.
out. I have a job. I don't want it to be a job.
Right. What
So
can we look forward to with some? I know you do some drops every month. What's coming up?
So so next month there's not really going to be a new drop. It's my birthday month. So I haven't like released this yet, but I'm going to tell everybody now. We have like a couple big things happening in our life. One I can't tell the internet, but I'll tell you off camera because it's pretty cool. And I will tell everybody on the internet, but it has to be done. I'll say that. It has to be done
Okay.
first.
Okay.
But with Baller Play, I'll tell you guys in September it's my birthday month, so we're going to have a big sale all month long. A bunch of the old drops are coming back, including Just Throw Strikes, and then the one you're wearing, because that one's not available right now. So
Oh,
the
I
block,
feel
yep,
special.
yep, that one's not available right now. So there will be sale all month long, and then we're gonna start sponsoring athletes. So we're gonna pick 1 month or one athlete a month, and we're gonna sponsor them. So part of the proceeds will go there, and
Wow,
use
that's
that.
so
I
cool.
don't know how I'm gonna do it. Like I haven't figured. I don't know, people can weigh in on this, tell me what they would like. But like I want to maybe I worked with Jen Shro one time and when we did big giveaway and like I put all like a sports mom, but I gave away a bat, she gave away a glove. Like Easton hopped in and did some stuff with us. So I was thinking about doing something like that,
Hmm.
but I haven't. And like obviously you would get free shirts and but then I was like, do I give like some cash? Maybe it would help with their player fee or monthly costs or hotel expenses, whatever.
Right.
I haven't decided much what I'm gonna do there, but I want to sponsor an athlete a month. We were giving away free shirts. We called it Feature Friday. Kind of got away from that because I want to give back more for the families in need. This sport is expensive. Like,
So expensive.
I mean, I'm sitting in a whole dang softball.
Which I can't wait to have my own barn one day.
Where we're going with baller play.
I love it. I love it. Um, let's talk off the cuff because I want to pitch in too. I want to
Yeah.
see what I can
Okay.
give. Because you're
Okay.
right. Like this sport, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you could just reach out to like Jen Show or like people just in the community. Like we get it. Like there are some people out there that like want certain things and just like can't have it. But like, yeah,
No.
I think
Well,
there's
like
something cool you could do. And I
one
know
thing.
I love that you're
So
thinking
like
about it.
Ev's in the Easton Army. Okay. She's jacked to be in it. Loves being in it. Okay. I have 2 girls in it. Not everybody can be in it. Totally get it. It's not that they're not good enough or whatever. It's more of a marketing thing because I understand that. It's like my whole so like my whole job before this isn't my job. I'm like an online influencer, social media influencer. I work with Amazon. That's what I do. I show sporting mom fits. Um, but I just know like this, like, and I like one time, I'll be honest, I held the red ghost from her for 2 months because she had a OG. sh- It was a perfect bat. She, I was like, she doesn't need the red ghost right now.
Hmm.
Like, she doesn't need it. And she wanted it and wanted it and wanted it. But I just know like there's kids that they get a bat and there's like tears flowing from their face because it's like, oh my gosh. And I don't want Evelyn to ever expect that this is normal.
Hmm.
It's
That you just
not.
get every new drop. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's where I'm like, I want to give back. I want to help those girls that, you know, they don't just because they want a new bat. They get, you see all those pictures of girls like holding up a bunch of Easton bats, like ones from way back when.
Hmm.
Like I I want to help those girls that don't know what that's like
Hmm.
and want that experience of like, they want to go get an Easton bat or a new glove, right? So that's kind of where my mind is there. And so it's like our way of just giving back. I know
Yeah.
I should contact Jen and ask her. And I was just gonna buy an Easton bat, but I bet you Easton would totally like be all in on stuff like
Oh
this.
yeah, if it's helping out like an athlete who needs stuff. And like I
Yeah.
love that you're thinking about Ev too, because like imagine if Ev gets a new bat and she's just like, you know what? Like I like the bat I have. I want to give this to somebody. Like
Yeah.
that's what you're
Yeah.
cultivating. You're cultivating like it's not just
Yeah.
about me, it's about everybody in this game and helping grow it. So
Yeah.
that's so
Yep.
great. People
But
have asked me a lot, like, are you guys gonna try for a girl? Yeah, I want to have a girl like Ev to work with. Like,
Ev is she's a blessing. A lot of people ask me too, like, is she always willing to like work? And I will say she's a 70/30. 70% of the time I'm like, hey, we gotta go hit, we gotta go pitch, da da da. But I mean, yesterday she was tired. It was the first day of school. So we're getting back into routine. And she's used to just coming down to the barn, get her hitting done, doing her work, right?
mm-hmm,
She goes to school all day. Um, Tuesdays are like our softball like practice day is what I call it. Um, Her friends come over, a couple of my varsity girls come over. I work with them, and then she has to go to training. She does speed and agility and strength training with Coach Emily, who is another blessing to our team. She's our speed and agility coach, and is also Evelyn's strength trainer. A bunch of my girls are starting to work with her too, so she's been blessing. She played at St. Joe's. She was a D1 pitcher as well. So like, right, I will say like you want your kid to be, you want your kid to be an athlete, put them with the right group of people,
mm-hmm,
right? You are who you surround yourself with. So she was tired though. She got home at like 8 o'clock and she's like, I'm dead, mom. And I'm like, welcome to being an athlete because
mm-hmm,
this is it, right? Like you got to, and I'm big on like you're a student first, you're a student athlete, take care of your business, take care of your schoolwork, then go be an athlete.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah,
But it's
she's
like
good,
these
but
hard days are gonna pay off. And she'll have those days where
yeah,
she's like, thank God. Thank God
yeah,
we had those tough days.
yeah. And we're playing a PGF this fall. We usually don't play PGF till the spring, right? We're 12U now. We're not little girls. Like that's what we always say. We're like, this is big girl
Yeah.
ball,
They're getting ready
And
for it. Yeah.
yeah, like you gotta, and I'm big on like stepping them into it, right? Like 12U, all right, we're playing sanctioned, we're traveling a little bit more. We're playing some like we'll probably play in Indiana, Ohio, a little bit different, right? We're not traveling all over the United States, but
Not at
you know,
12U. Please don't do that
no,
at 12U.
no, I know people are doing it, and I'm like, so here's why. My sister, my youngest sister, she was phenomenal player. The youngest kid is gonna be your best athlete.
That was us.
Um,
My youngest
yep.
sister too. Hmm.
So I was the oldest, and then the middle, and then, but and she was good. Like at 12 years, I think my dad said she was 12 years old, and she was hitting 58, 59 miles an hour, and with mechanics and everything. Like, is he sleeping?
He
Oh
is
my
asleep.
gosh, that's fantastic. I do miss that.
For those that
Um,
are only listening, I'm holding my newborn right now.
but so she was a really good ball player, and she just wasn't a pitcher, man. She could play shortstop, she could play center field. Like she was just a dog. I mean,
Hmm.
one time she broke her hand. My dad threw a glove on her other hand, and it's
Shut
like,
up.
and she could do it. Like she was just that kind of player, right? They're rare.
Hmm.
By 16 years old, she could care less to play.
Wow. Was it
And
because
she
she
could have,
was she traveling a lot or like
yeah, my dad at a young age, right? So, right, there's huge age gap, and he knows it. Like he owns it to this day, and that's why he is like so much. He's a good voice a reason too of like what we do with our schedule and how we do it, because we always say you got to love the game when you're 16. You got
Hmm.
to love the game when you're 16. You guys got to go tubing behind a boat in the summer and fear for your life that your dad's going to throw you off your tube. Like, you have to do those things in the summer. It kills me when I see it on Facebook. Parents are like, "Hey, my kid's not playing this weekend with their team available to sub." I'm like, "Go to the lake, go camping." Like, oh, sorry, I almost woke him up. Like,
It's okay.
go do
It's not you, it's me.
something like family oriented. Like, go have a summer. Go
Hmm.
have a summer. Go do
Hmm.
something other than softball. I promise you, it's like so much healthier for them in the long run. So yeah, we are not traveling across the United States at 12 years
Oh.
old, and we won't until we are 14 and incapable of it, right? Like,
Hmm.
incapable of it.
Yeah.
So
It's always about
14,
like finding the next level. I think that's how like my dad always took it. It was like, okay,
yeah,
if you're winning every tournament, you obviously aren't competing against the
right.
teams you should be. But like at 12U, there are really good teams around Michigan, Indiana, like, and no matter where
Yes,
you are in the country and you're listening, like, there's local great talent. Like, go play against them. But like,
yes.
just like everything, when you start seeing that you're becoming the best, then yeah, maybe travel a little further. But like, it doesn't have to be done at 12U.
Well, my whole thing too, if you're still striking out in your state, you don't need to go play in another state. Like, it's true
I
though.
love that.
Like, if you are still striking out in your state, and I'm big on like staying with your she wasn't with their friends. This stuff is so, so, so important
Hmm.
at this age. So important. Right, again,
Yeah.
I don't remember my travel ball experience of winning and losing, I don't, but I do remember. Well, here's a fun fact, so now we're coaching at Diamond Heat, we, brought the organization from the dead, brought it alive. We're coaching at Diamond Heat now, and one of, like, there's a lot of nostalgic to it. um Morgan, who is a catcher slash utility player on our team, her mom, Jen, played me and her. She was like, you have your travel ball bestie. She was my
Hmm.
travel ball bestie, played under my dad through all those years. So there's
Wow.
a lot of nostalgic there for it. That we both had
That's
kids
so
at the same
special.
I mean, we both had kids at the same time too. Like,
The odds.
what yeah, what are the odds? So
Yeah.
yeah,
I love that so much. Just a couple more questions. One,
yeah,
where can everybody follow you if they don't already, which they probably already do? But we want to keep following your journey, especially coaching. I know you have like a few Instagrams based on like your coaching hat, your
yeah.
fashion hat, and then your just like personal page, which I love all of them. I think everybody should follow them all because they're so fun to follow. But where can people follow you and continue to watch you and your dad? Because you got a videographer like catching all these fun moments.
Yeah, so I'm in like a social media saga right now, right? So, algorithm, right? We love algorithm on social media.
Hmm.
Everybody really loves the softball content, like loves it.
Hmm.
And I'm like, that's great, but that doesn't make me money. So none of my videos for fashion do well anymore. And I'm like,
It'll
I
change.
ne- I need you guys to still like this stuff, okay? Because
Hmm.
I have what I can do. I do what I can do because of my job and online presence in the fashion world, and just being a mom. But so on Instagram, it's just Trisha Hyde, TikTok Trisha Hyde, YouTube Trisha Hyde, and then Facebook Trisha Hyde. And then I do have another Instagram page. I just called it Coach Trish. And I just kind of sometimes, like, I want to share more of the coaching side and stories or like quotes or really good videos and stuff, and I can't do it all on my main page. So I was like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna start this page and just kind of share stuff there. But then we
Hmm.
have our Instagram, it's called Diamond Heat, and then our TikTok is called Diamond Heat. And that's more like player highlights. I do try to, if social media, we can talk about like recruiting. I think that this is my personal opinion. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think the recruitment game is going to change dramatically, and I think it already has. I still think this is why I don't believe in playing on a national regional team at 12U, because you're not going to get no college coaches watching at 12U, just here to tell you. But building your social media profile and going to camps absolutely is a really good idea. And
Hmm.
I think that college coaches and emailing is still going to be huge and going to camps, but like you're building a whole, instead of like making a highlight video to send to a coach, you're building a whole online highlight video
Hmm.
on social media. And I think that's going to be huge into this recruiting world in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Huge.
Because if you start now, then they can see your growth from like 12U to 14, 16. It's like, okay, this
Yes.
this player
Yep.
means business, you know?
Yeah.
So
So
like
that's
if someone were to like want to just dive into that a little bit, what would be like a big tip that can help them start their online presence?
um I love that because Evelyn has her own Instagram now and TikTok, but both are monitored by me, and she doesn't
Mhm.
post anything without my approval. So,
Good.
but when we started, I did do all her video editing, and then I taught her how to do it because I
Hmm.
also believe that comes into the work ethic play. Right? If you want this bad enough, you're gonna make your own videos, right? These kids are
Hmm.
so savvy of cell phones these days, anyways. So I'm like, you can handle this. But so I think I know Twitter's a big thing. I'm not on Twitter. That's just my personal life. You could have a Twitter account, but uh Ev makes training videos. I think training videos are super more important than highlight videos.
Hmm.
Then so she makes a lot of videos of her hitting and pitching. She uses the app CapCut. That's what I use just in general for my job is CapCut.
Hmm.
And then um and I have to there was like one time she posted like a really inspirational video that had like a ton of swear words, and I was like, love the idea. However, like we gotta, you know,
We gotta see who's looking at this. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we gotta see it. And I think it's funny how I don't know how college was back in your day, but basically you were how I was in college. Like my coaches were like, yeah, you know that whole saying, like you're gonna get pregnant and die. I felt like if you're gonna get posts on social media and you're kicked off the team, like that was like the
Mm,
mantra. And now like this is my whole job, and look where social media is now.
right.
So it's kind of funny how things have came full circle in the
Hmm.
coach world. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I would post for if you're going to start your kid an Instagram account or TikTok. I think Instagram is probably more important than TikTok right now. I don't, I only say it because I just feel like coaches are not on TikTok.
Most aren't.
My,
I don't think they
no,
are. Yeah.
but you're going to double do it, right? It's really
Hmm.
easy to cross post. Um, but yeah, highlight videos like them hitting, fielding work, conditioning, strength training, like
Yeah, they
not
want to
this
know that you're
like
in the weight room. Hmm.
they want to like Evelyn again, she just started strength training. She's 12, so it's like we're easing into it.
Hmm.
You don't want to go balls to the walls yet with strength training. But yeah, so she makes videos of her and makes her own little, I had another girl, one of my players in here, and she's like, what app do I need to use? I want to start doing an Instagram account. So I'm kind of like helping her get into it. And I was like, girl,
There's your
all you
next
need,
journey. You just help people do it.
well, yeah, teach kids how to like make their own little videos. I'm like, you just need a tripod and the app CapCut, and you just, you know,
You just
video
film.
yourself. You film. Yeah, you film. Like I film the silliest stuff sometimes and it goes viral. And I'm like, did not expect that.
A
But
video of your mom in the background or like that
oh
she
my
got
gosh,
kicked
that
out. Please share this one
so
because that was my favorite
okay.
video of all
Well,
time.
that's what I think people need to understand when they come to my platforms. When we have, okay, first of all, everybody has drama
Hmm.
in the travel ball world. You'll never know about mine firsthand, ever.
Hmm.
Like time will have passed. And if I do post anything, it's super sarcastic and like not even it's one of those things like, is that what she's talking about? Because I just don't feel like it's necessary to post to social media. But my mom, she's called Mimi. Okay. So we got Dano and Mimi. and all the girls call her Mimi, and she always has candy for the girls. But my mom is an outfield parent because my mom was a coach's wife for a very long time. That is her safe spot. She
Yeah.
still can't stand to sit by parents. I get it, right? That's her domain. We were at a complex where, I mean, outfield was like a slow pitch field plus some.
It was
Okay.
far.
Super, super far out. And I looked and I'm like, Dad, look at mom. Like, she's all the way out there. And then so we started joking about like, I go, I bet you if someone didn't know our team, they would be like, who is that disgruntled parent that always sits in the outfield for them? Like, I bet you she's like one of those parents that's like Gene or whatever, and or the parents. And so my dad started saying, "She got kicked out of here." So we started filming it and just like making fun of it. Well, it went viral and everybody's like hearing everybody's in the comment section, you know, what's wrong with youth parents these days? This is the problem. Or and it's totally a joke. All of it is a joke.
Because
We're just
the caption was like a mom who gets kicked out of the tournament or
yeah,
something, like made
yeah,
her way back or something like
yeah,
that. So everybody
yeah,
thought
like
that she was actually
yeah,
kicked out and she
yeah.
wasn't.
Like even people close to me was like, so, what did your mom do at the tournament? I'm like, no, it's a joke. Like, and I thought like the laughing would give it away,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It went viral, and I'm like, whatever.
I'm
Sometimes I'm like, what?
obsessed.
I've been online for so long. I don't feel like I have to like
Explain
put it
yourself.
do a disclaimer. I'm like, I don't
Right.
know. I
Yeah.
don't.
No, you don't
I
need
don't.
it. Last question that I have, just because there's a
Yeah.
lot of dads that listen to this podcast. They want to hear, you know, the lessons that maybe your dad taught you that you're trying to instill in your kids now. Are there like one or two lessons that you're like, these were the big ones that,
Mm,
you know, even though you're probably thinking of 45 at the moment, but like, what were some big
I
ones?
know.
Heavy hitters.
Hard work brings great rewards. My dad said that to me all the time when I was younger. Hard work brings great rewards.
I'll see
And then
that on
he
a
would always,
t-shirt soon. Just
yep.
kidding.
He said, and then he would always say, there's someone always working harder than you. There's
Mm,
someone always working harder than you, you know? And he did tell a story about to the girls. It was last year about how when he was younger and, you know, his dad, he would be out thrown into a tire swing baseball, right? And he's
hmm
like, my, his dad would be like, why are you doing that? Like, you know, there, you know, so and so's better, so and so's better. And my dad was always determined, like, no, I'm going to be better. I'm going to outwork them, you know? So that's, he taught me that. And then in the coaching perspective, the first thing he said to me was, whatever you do, always have, always know why you do it as a coach. So if you write a lineup a certain way, be prepared if a parent asks you a question for the answer.
hmm
So that was a good one that I've always kind of stuck with. Um,
That's a good one.
what is Yeah, that was a good one. So like always having an answer. Um, what else has he taught me? Like as a player, like I guess coaching. Well, the big one is like your kids gotta have fun.
hmm
Like your kid might be the best kid. Like I tell my husband all this time with our son. I'm like, has our son like our son, his name is Bodie. I'm like, has Bodie complained? What's Bodie think? Like we might
hmm
not like it, but is Bodie okay? So it's like my biggest thing that you're if your kid is having fun, let them be with their friends and have fun because that is more important than anything. And you know, I have an art degree. That's my bachelor's is in art. And that is and he always says too, like, I think my college experience probably would have went better if I would have strength trained at a younger, earlier age.
hmm
And that's one thing I changed for Evelyn was strength training, taking that stuff more seriously.
Yeah, that's huge.
Take vacations. That's another thing. We don't play in spring break. Oh, he's like, I'm done.
I know.
Um,
He's tapping out.
we don't play in spring break. I know everybody goes south during their we don't play in spring break.
Yeah.
So we take that's our family vacation and then I always call it the calm before the storm. Because
hmm
we're literally training in here all year round.
Yeah. And as soon as spring break's over, it's like gun ho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. No,
Yep.
this has been we've gone so many places today, but I love it
I know.
so very
I know.
much.
I could talk. We didn't even touch on the college experience, so that's got to be a
I
different
know.
podcast for
We'll have
sure.
to do that one in the future. But thanks for
Yep.
everybody. Thank you for adapting to the
Oh,
first podcast I've done holding a child.
he
Um,
was good though.
you
He's
did
like,
pretty good.
I'm sick of listening to her now, but he's like, he did
No,
really good
he
though.
was asleep for a while. But no, I just appreciate you so much. One, for like shedding a lot of light on so many areas of, your experience, travel coaching, and also your dad. Um, and especially the
You're just doing the
impromptu,
rotation.
I know, the impromptu tips on like social media. Like you're the pro.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I could talk social
I
media
know.
all day. That's
That
another
was
podcast
so
too.
much fun. But I hope everybody
Yeah.
goes and follows you, get some gear from Baller
Well,
Play. I
thank
can't wait
you.
to see what's coming up for you. And I can't wait to get you back on. And we'll definitely have a babysitter for the next time.